OP Doctor, we really don't deserve you and your talent, man. Please keep making more Pixar films, you truly are the best at it. So in this movie, Joe Gardner is a middle school band teacher whose life hasn't quite gone the way he expected. His true passion is jazz, and he's good, like really good. But when he almost passes away in another realm called the Great Beyond, he soon discovers what it truly means to have a true soul and true purpose. Pixar's back, baby! I mean, they've been back before with Incredibles 2 and occasionally Toy Story 4 and onward, and especially Inside Out and Coco, which are just masterpieces. This by no means says that this film is flawless in any way, and it's by no means the most original thing on the planet. I mean, I joked with this with my friend, like I said before when this film came out, that this is kind of Inside Out plus Coco, and you know what? I don't need to explain myself. But with that said, the stuff in this movie is too damn good to even mention in one video. For one, the animation is just spectacular. Best looking film of the year, even though Joe's design kinda looks like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Just wanted to point that out. The settings look so expressive and imaginative, yet very subtle, with places like the Great Beyond and the Great Before, or better yet, even New York. The acting as well is just phenomenal. Jamie Foxx is always great and he does fantastic as the role. Tina Fey is just so Tina Fey that at times I kind of felt like this was just a big budget skit for 30 Rock, because she just so sounds like Liz Lemon, with the humor being kind of similar.
I just use this voice because it annoys people.
It's very effective.
Good God, Lemon. And speaking of the humor, my god, can the jokes in this film just absolutely kill me. Particularly the running joke with 22 and her mentors.
You are the greatest! Pain in the butt!
You're really okay being on a penny.
Well, of course. It's an honor.
Okay, but they put Andrew Jackson on the 20.
Jackson!
Also, this line was in the trailers, but I also think it's the best line in the movie.
You can't crush a soul here. That's what life on Earth is for.
Very witty.
RIP 2020.
Also, another celebrity that was just so shocking to see was Big Shock Graham Norton. Like, you just know him as that funny talk show host from England, or as they like to call it in England, a chat show host. But man, does he do a tremendous job with his first animated role as Moonwind. All of the characters in this film are very relatable, with Joe Gardner having this deep passion and, for jazz, but realizing that it's not only his spark in life, which we'll get to in a bit, while 22 doesn't feel like she's even good enough to be in this world, which in the circumstances we're in, I would gladly be in some cosmic wonderland as opposed to this glorious year you might know of called 2020. And the script knows what to do when it comes to some of these mature themes and concepts. And they obviously don't go all in like Euphoria, because by God, if Pixar did that, not even the same route they used to be in, they would have went way out of control. But I feel like this is the most mature of the Pixar films that we've ever gotten. But that leads me to the main issue with the film, and that's the way it kind of handles its message. Now, don't get me wrong, I adore the message this film gave us. The fact that this film was telling us, hey, your purpose isn't your passion. Like, it doesn't have to be your success or anything. It just has to be the fact that you're living in this world called Earth. And for an animated film, let alone a Pixar film, to cover new territory like that is a big stepping point. Like, there's this moment where Joe's playing jazz while reflecting on his life with all the meaning it had, and then, the stuff that he didn't see while living, like just walking, for example. And the entire scene made me shout over and over again, yes, this is Pixar. This is the visual storytelling and the genius they used to do. They're back, baby. But not only is the message really confusing to kids, but at first viewing, I really didn't like the whole Joe and 22 getting switched thing. I was like, no, movie, you were doing very well. Don't do this to yourself. And I just felt so disappointed. Like, I knew what they were trying to do at the first viewing, but I was kind of thrown off off because this wasn't the vibe I got from the trailers. You see, 22 all her life, quote unquote, I guess, was the fact that she had no purpose, so being in a human's body made her feel more, well, human. But even after watching it again, the film doesn't really utilize the message as much as Inside Out or Coco did with theirs. Like, we could have learned more about the Daveed Diggs bully character. We could have learned more about the father or this Lisa character that was mentioned like two times. And for no apparent reason, because she was never shown once in the entire film, which is kind of a disappointment, but then again, it's kind of a nitpick. Also, for the record, this isn't really a nitpick, but I feel like Soul shouldn't have come on Disney Plus. Like, I get it, Academy Awards and stuff, but let's face it, this would have been a much better experience on the big screen. And there's no thought about it. I actually commented on YouTube when the second trailer came out and said, who else thinks this film is much more than just a Disney Plus movie? And over 6,000 people seem to agree, which is the coolest thing ever, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the most attention I've ever had in social media. But full disclosure, Pixar, I appreciate you giving us this film as early as you could, but it would be pretty sweet to see this movie in the theater. But anyway, Soul is genuinely great. It's probably not the greatest movie in the world at first viewing, and like I said, this is by no means a flawless film, but give it another watch. It's probably gonna surprise you with its gorgeous animation, great characters, tremendous voice acting, a bit of a confused and a little too ambitious, yet very heartfelt message that I feel will get better and better the more I grow older and older. So I'm gonna give Soul a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic, remarkable, terrific Pixar film that shows us that in the end, even though life is very tough, it might be more important than you'd probably think.